big thing, and you've talked about this on your podcast, is the role of inflation in all this. Because to my perception, if I see a $2 million house in Calabasas and now it's selling for $4 million, a lot of that has to be inflation, right?
It's got to be something.
Right. And when the government is just printing money, like monopoly money, you know how you talked about in the podcast.
That's what would concern me more than anything right there. 21% of all the U.S. dollars that have ever been printed were printed in 2020.
Whew. Damn.
21%. One out of every $5 that you see on the streets today were not printed before this year. That by itself is inflation. I don't need prices to go up. When there's more of something, okay? Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 27,000 this morning.
Right.
Like it's just flying. It just crossed 20,000 and broke its 20,000 ceiling. I own some Bitcoin. I keep watching every day. I'm like, oh, I just made 9,000. I made 18,000. I made $27,000 today. Why? Because it's an asset that has limited production. And it appears to be something limited in quantity, whereas cash, dude, there's no limitation. Houses, definitely a limitation to how many houses in Beverly Hills on a certain street. Mm-hmm. So that you know, I got a Malibu beach house. At least I know what I got. It's a $40 million house on Carbon Beach. I'm like, shit, man, money's worth nothing. I've been saying for years to you, cash is trash. Cash flow matters. Real assets matter. The rest of it's just made up.
You know, for example, I'm seeing a lot more money just being frivolously spent all over the place. Like, you know, I have a jeweler that I use. And I remember reaching out to him when everything was going bad. And I'm like, hey, you know, I'm assuming there's probably some good deals on jewelry right now because, you know, people can't tour, you know, people are losing their jobs, whatever else. And he told me the exact opposite. He said, no,
they're going crazy.
People who are usually spending $2,000 are spending $20,000 and they want it right now. Not only is more money coming in, but the level of scamming has gone through the roof. Like, I never took a PPP loan, just like yourself, because with us, our company is doing okay. We don't need the loan. We don't want to have the government come back 2 years later and say, you guys took a loan when you didn't need to. Here's all the penalties that are going to be associated with this. So we just didn't take anything. But there's people that are taking out loans for people locked up in prison, creating fake companies. People are making music videos about EDD scams and then going to prison afterwards. People are posting pictures of stuff they're buying on Instagram. Are you seeing a lot of this?
Well, this is what I was referring to earlier. After 9/11, you saw a housing boom in America. That housing boom, they said, was because interest rates went down. It's not because interest rates went down. It's because scared money wants to buy real assets. When people are terrified, they want to go get something that they can understand. I want to buy something that I can understand. I'm going to get a watch. I got a jeweler, Avi, and Avi's like, Grant, my business is up 20 million this year. Mm. People can't go anywhere, dude. They can't go on trips. They can't use their plane. The cost of my travel this year, I think we got 65 hours on my plane this year compared to 250 hours last year. I can't use my plane. Even if you got money, dude, you couldn't go any place and spend money. So they're like, hey, I'm terrified. I'm worried my family's going to die. I'm worried I'll never go out and be with the public again. I'm worried my business is going to go down. What should I do before I die? Shit, buy a watch. I'm going to buy some art. I'm going to buy, I can't buy tickets to the Super Bowl. What can I buy? And I'm going to go buy a car. I got car dealer friends that are making more money this year. I had a car dealer friend in LA. He's like, Grant, I feel like they should come lock me up. We're making so much money.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like this is the biggest economic.
Why does anybody need a car right now?
Yeah. No, I mean, this seems like the biggest economic shift in my lifetime. Certain people are making way more money than they've ever made, and other people are just borderline homeless.
They're spending money they don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, they're spending money and they're not thinking about the future. This is kind of like the gambler, you know, in The guy's on a losing streak, and he's like, he went in there. He's like, I'm not losing more than $1,000, and now he's lost his $1,000, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go another 1,000 and see if I can get that back. He starts making new deals with himself, and the next thing you know, he's in this thing for $100,000, and he's borrowing money from the ATM and a criminal, and it's. I have no way out now. I'm going down. It's getting ugly. Let me just spend till they won't let me have money again. But the other part of this, Vlad, is that, dude, money it's garbage. You're seeing all these stocks on the market, like IPOs, that are just opening up at 2 and 3 times anybody's estimate. Why? Because scared money, garbage pieces of fiat paper, are chasing other fiat, crossing their fingers, hoping something good's going to happen. And that's why when you have inflation, like you talked about, real assets, real property, physical things that you can touch and hold on to will go up in value. You'll see gold move, silver move, and you'll see real estate move.
Well, gold has actually not really moved that much. It sort of went up a bit, then it went down, and it kind of flip-flopped around a little bit. Let me see. Let's look it up.
I thought it was at 1,900 today.
GLD, when you look at gold, I mean, it's up for the year, but it's really been it actually is down from August 3rd.
Yeah, I don't know anything about gold, man.
Yeah,
Shit, what am I talking about? All I know about is things that cash flow. Right. The only reason I got some Bitcoin is because somebody gave it for a speaking fee. They couldn't pay me in cash. I said, well, how can you pay me? You got some donkeys? You got goats? You got sisters? What you got, dog? He's like, I got some Bitcoin. I said, fuck it, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I'll take the Bitcoin. That Bitcoin's worth $2.5 million today. It's the best speaking gig I ever did.
Really? So how much was it worth when you actually took the gig?
It was worth, I think it was worth 80 grand, 60 grand, something like that. I forget what the deal, what it was a gig I did, and I was already in Vegas. They wanted me to leave my event, go to another event and talk, and I did. And, I made $2.5 million on that speaking gig. But I was good, bro. Let me tell you, it was the best speaking gig I ever did.
What year was this?
This was, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Bitcoin myself, but I understand that, listen, it's making money right now, and I'm always for people investing rather than spending. So if Bitcoin or some other crypto is your thing, go for it.
Yeah, look, I've never bought any Bitcoin, just to be clear for everybody out there. I've never personally bought Bitcoin. I don't invest in, as you know, I'm not an investor like that. I buy stuff that I can touch and feel and walk on, and that somebody else is going to pay me to keep. So I'm a simple man.
There you go. Well, the election is over now.
I didn't know it was over yet.
Yeah, I mean, according to Trump, it's not over.
Dude,
it's not.
And I wouldn't count him out until it's over, until that guy leaves the ring.
Oh, man, listen, I can't wait until he refuses to leave and they got to hog tie him and throw a Hannibal Lecter mask on him. But we'll see what happens. Listen, regardless of whether you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter, the election is over. The electoral votes have been cast, and Biden is going to go into office starting January 20th. Based on real estate, which is what you know best, do you think the real estate market will improve or get worse under Biden?
Dude, Obama was the best thing that's ever happened to apartments. So if Biden's anything like his boss, then I can't wait for him to get in there.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal, bro. Here's the deal. Like, all these eviction moratoriums, they're going to crush people's ability to ever buy a home. You're building renters forever because you're destroying people's credit. You're basically giving people permission not to pay without them understanding it's going to follow you, okay? You're not going to be able to buy a house, okay? Wells Fargo is not going to give you a home if you couldn't fucking pay your rent. Yeah. It'll never happen. So the more they do of this, the less people will buy homes, and the better it's going to be for that rental market.
Yeah. I mean, Obama also came in right during the housing crisis.
Yeah.
And that was a disaster. And what he pulled off, I think people don't give him enough credit for. Because the whole economy could have just tanked at that point.
Yeah.
You know, the whole bailout and everything.
The economy did tank, bro. You don't remember what happened? It's the longest recession we've had in this country.
It did tank, but it came back about a year and a half later.
No, come on, man. Stop the madness. You're not in the emotional, the pull of it anymore. You're 10 years removed.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the.
Oh, you going to Google? That's your favorite friend. Huh? That's where you get all your information.
All right. Well, no, I'm not looking at Google. I'm looking at the actual stock charts because that's how you.
Yeah, but dude, most people are not invested in stocks. Most people are not invested in stocks. If you look, what you should be looking at, Vlad, since we're having a friendly conversation here, you should look at wages.
Okay, I see what you mean. I'm actually wrong. Yeah, I'm actually wrong. So the market,
that should be the headline. At its high, Grant Cardone makes Vlad wrong.
That's right. Grant Cardone makes Vlad wrong. So in September of 2007 was the height, and it didn't recover to that level until December 12 of 2012. So it was about 5 years.
5 years.
5 years for the full recovery.
Dead money on the stock market. But if you look at wages would not recover until 2019.
Yeah.
From their previous spot in 2008. 11 years. And wages is what kills Americans. It's not how much your investments are, it's how much money do you earn so that you have something left over to invest. And unfortunately, most Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck. And I think Biden will be a return of paycheck to paycheck when Trump was giving us a bit of a lift. Even if you don't like Trump, okay? Forget Trump for a second. Enthusiasm is when I, as an owner, when I'm enthusiastic about my future is when I start giving bonuses out. It's when I start hiring people. It's not when things are good. It's when I think things are going to be good that I start hiring people, paying out bonuses, rewarding people, putting in, compensation programs until the American family has their wages lift. Because if you have stagnant wages and the cost of living is going up, which is what's happening right now, you mentioned it earlier, okay?
Yeah.
Then the guy's in a trap.
Yeah, I mean, one of my greatest accomplishments as a business owner was in 2020 with everything that happened with COVID and then all the drama that we had with our company and everything else like that. All of our employees were employed. Everyone maintained their salary and all their health benefits, and everyone got a bonus at the end of the year. You know, like that really was like, we really pulled together at such a rough time and actually expanded the company when everything else was falling apart around us. But I feel like we were one of the lucky ones. Most of my friends who I talked to took a hit this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the biggest year we've ever had.
Yeah, us too.
I can't even explain it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't even understand. Like you would think look, if you stay in the deal and you stay focused, okay, despite not only did COVID hit us, I'm fortunate we were in Florida because they were definitely easier to deal with here than in some places. I can't imagine being a restaurant or a bar in the bar business or a stripper or like any of those businesses where there's human contact and they limit that human contact, right? Churches, philanthropics, all that got crushed, dude. Charities had to get freaking punished this year. Because if you don't have human contact and people are used to making human contact to get their business done, they suffered. We had for years been transitioning to a virtual business, supporting our clients via streams and live video. So it wasn't a big angst for us as it was some people.
Yeah, no, we got lucky, and it sounds like you guys did too. But a lot of it was also preparation because we've been doing remote interviews.
Yeah. For
years before COVID ever hit. People are just getting up on Zoom interviews, and we figured out how to do it, maintain quality, and make it look professional and everything else like that. Now, you had COVID yourself. And at this point, they're rolling out the vaccine. The Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine.
Yeah.
2 million people have been inoculated so far in the U.S. Plus, the U.K. and Canada have approved it as well. You yourself, now you don't qualify for the vaccine right now because of your age, but in the near future you will. Will you be taking the vaccine?
I will definitely have a vaccine card.
Will you be taking the vaccine?
I don't know if I want to answer that question in this interview. But I can tell you this, okay? I can tell you this. I have never taken a vaccine since I was in the 6th or 7th grade, and they hit me with whatever that deal was.
Okay.
So my kids are not vaccinated.
Okay.
And,
so you're
and as long as I'm in charge of them, they won't be.
Okay. So are you an anti-vaxxer?
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely anti-vaccine.
Okay. So you don't worry about the various things that could happen, not for yourself, but for your kids.
I have the immunity right now. So as of I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, I have the antibodies. Mm-hmm. I walked in someplace, they're like, you don't have a mask on. I said, I thought you wanted what I have.
Okay.
But I know some of your audience is going to be like, oh, he's an idiot. He doesn't care about other people. Actually, I care about other people very much. I also care about myself and my family. And they're going to have to be a lot of people vaccinated with no effects, no negative effects before I have somebody put something, I don't know what's in it, in my arm or in my body or in my kids.
Okay. I mean, that's your choice.
Yeah, should be my choice.
I mean, it is your choice.
But it should be. It should be. It looks like they're going to try to position it where it's not.
Well, right, because there's going to be limitations on
where you can go and what you can do. They're going to pay you. They're basically going to pay you, dude, to take away your freedom. So all your viewers need to understand it. They are going to give you money to take away your freedom. The government will pay you. They will print money. They have proven. We will print money to keep you at home. We will print money and get you to wear a mask. We will pay you. You'll pay for it in the end, but we will pay you to stay home. We'll pay you to give your arms up. We'll pay you to get rid of your guns. We will pay you to stay home, dude. Like, I want my freedom. Keep your money.
Okay. Because there's going to be some limitations. And in fact, I'm hearing the government will allow employers to require vaccinations in order to stay employed. Right?
Yeah, who ever heard of that? Like, when did discrimination go out the door?
Well, I mean, people require kids to be vaccinated to go to certain schools, right?
Yeah, but I got other schools I can go to. You're saying I have to, for you to work here, that'd be like me saying, okay, you have to have sex with a man or a woman in order to work here.
That's a little different.
No, it's not different. You got to be vaccinated to work here. It's discrimination. It's like, why do I need to worry about your vaccine because, you're going to get somebody sick in my office? Dude, nobody's even dying. Like the percentage of people that are dying from COVID. I can't even believe you're covering this topic right now.
We're going to cover it.
I had three friends. I had 3 friends die from this. All 3 of them. These are people that I knew that have been in my life, people that were important to me. All 3 of them, if they were here today, said, dude, I should have taken better care of myself.
I've had 2 of my guests die from COVID.
Yeah.
A doctor who I have on my show, Dr. Khan, who's a medical doctor in Las Vegas, who treats COVID patients for a living every day, has had 32 people die under his watch. And a few of those were people younger than you and I with no underlying conditions.
Okay.
So we can't just say this whole thing is a hoax. All these hospitals filling up.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a hoax.
Yeah, but all these hospitals are filling up. In Southern California, there are no ICU beds.
Yeah.
A doctor who I talked to said that he can't operate on his cancer patients right now because a lot of times cancer patients end up in ICU afterwards. And since they don't have any ICU beds, people with cancer are having to just sit around and wait and suffer
Yeah.
until they could actually get this operation. It's a
Yeah.
it's a very
And
real thing.
by the way, California, that's one of the places that shut down everything, right?
Yep. Whereas Florida did not. But the rates in Florida are pretty crazy as well.
I'm just saying, like, if you do the math on the number of people that have been infected and the number of people tested, infected, and then the percentage of people that died that were affected, like, it's not. And I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be a doctor or to be a professional about this topic. You asked me if I'm going to get vaccinated.
Right.
Okay. I've had COVID. I know exactly what it does to me. I also don't trust where it came from, and I don't trust the information we're getting from it. And I also know that you know this, people behind the scenes make moves when crises like this are present.
That's true.
And regardless of what side a person that's watching this is on, liberal, conservative, dude, your freedoms are being taken away from you. Right now, it's happening.
Well,
we have fewer freedoms today than we had in February of this year.